Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Are you live at the moment or you're still not live?
Yeah, I'm live. Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second then. If you are live, ta, ta, ta. Let me just give you a quick, very quick shout out. Tell me, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Just chilling. Basically just I haven't been playing KF2 all that much, but I've been doing Overwatch 2 lately. So I've been playing that, and I want to get Diablo 4 really because I've been playing it on the PlayStation 3, like the old one, and I want to get back into it.
Nice.
Is there any games that you wanted to check out, or any games outside of Killing Floor that you were looking at?
Mm, I'm honestly gonna say, I'm honestly gonna say, you know what? Recently, I've seen a lot of clips on TikTok about the Need for Speed series, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
I've been wanting to replay probably Need for Speed Underground 2 because in my opinion this is, I think, hands down like the best Need for Speed series, that like game overall. Underground and especially Underground 2 is like godlike. So
Mm.
I've been kind of like itching, you know. I was actually looking maybe to buy the Unbound one, uh, but uh, I decided against it.
Mm.
Let me just give you a shout out here in Discord.
Yeah, I just recently finished up my tournament for Killing Floor. It took longer than expected. It was about like took like a good 5 months to finish. That was just
Five
because,
months.
yeah, that was just because like people were just I don't know why they were taking too long, but like it was just every time an update occurred, they would just take more and more time, and like it was just a few teams playing the waiting
Yeah,
game, and eventually we got it done and over with. But yeah, a bunch of teams just like ended up like forfeiting rather because they uh, it was just connection problems and stuff. Just
yeah,
all the like first world problems, like just like that comes with the game, just like lag issues and connection problems and whatever. Um,
yeah.
so
Okay, so I'm ready when you are. I just dropped you a shout out on Discord, also on the KF2 group. So I'm all yours, my guy. Let's get this.
okay. What questions would you like me to ask you? Like as far as just keeping it inside Killing Floor 2, or just
Whatever you ask me, you know, I even told you last time that I actually enjoyed our previous podcast or our previous interview that we did. So, whatever you want to ask me, I'm more than open to talk about any subject. So, let's just go for it.
okay. So I recently like saw that Tripwire came made a post about like what game would we like to see coming into 2023, and like no lie, everybody was like spamming Killing Floor 3. And I even took a screenshot and shared it in one of the PlayStation groups that I was in, and just shared it to a bunch of friends, just to
Yeah.
like what are your thoughts on that, on
So
Tripwire?
I think that Killing Floor franchise is still like the biggest franchise for Tripwire, or if we have to call them, right now, Saber, because Saber did buy out Tripwire. So I still believe, in the words that I shared with you in our previous conversation, like months and months ago, that the reason why they have been slacking off from updates and the reason why they signed this contract with Saber is right now they do have more let's call it developing power, right? More programming power, more staff power, however you want to call it. Uh, so the reason they signed up with them is I believe they are working secretly on Killing Floor 3, and that most likely by the end of this year we're gonna get the like huge announcement. I don't know when is the next big gaming event in regards to, I don't know, big gaming titles, but probably maybe before Christmas. Again, this is all like pure speculation, but probably before Christmas, we might get like huge update about Killing Floor 3. I believe on one of the GameCon updates or events, because Red Orchestra, Maneater, and all the other Jazz and Chivalry, whatever they put out as updates or as a game, uh, it's not even gonna come close to Killing Floor, and I'll tell you why. So I've noticed. That's of course if you'd like me to continue talking about this subject, because I do have like actually a lot of things to say.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Just say what. Go. I'm all for it.
So so I have noticed, of course, during my recent streams and other people's streams, and overall the activity in the community. You do know that we do have a very large Facebook group with like over 5,000 people that hit like more than 5K people
Right.
like a month and a half ago, literally in January. So
Mm-hmm.
I have noticed that more and more new people to the game actually come in. I'm talking about people that,
Haven't played
when
this
you,
game before.
or they've played it for a period of time between like 0 to 3 months. Because one of the questions that I have it for my Facebook group is, for how long have you played the game?
Mm.
So 99% of the recent, like maybe 100 and more people that have joined my Facebook group are people that said between 0 and 3 months. So I have noticed that there are more people getting involved into Killing Floor 2, and more new players. More new players. This is what I've noticed. And I also had a lot of people on console that followed me on, not only on Twitch, but they came to chat with us, with the community. And their main problem, which they expressed live on stream while I was streaming, is that there is no cross-platform play. And I get this question asked quite often. Well, what do you think about, KF3? Will we ever get cross-platform play? So I believe this will happen before the end of this year. Otherwise, if not, uh, just a huge player base will just drop count. This
Mm-hmm.
is what I believe. This is what I believe.
I agree. Yeah. Um. It's been hyped up for pretty much the longest time. I mean, it's like this all. Every time I turn around, it's just like people are just like talking about it, or just like spreading rumors or whatever. And I think, um, I mean, they would make a lot of money from it. Just like like you said, it's their most popular franchise. I mean, like it's a fun game to play. I think it's a lot more funner than all their other games, like the Apex short game and that like new like VR game that they got. I forget what it's called. All the others. I think it's just like the team play and like strategizing, working together, and just like it's an overall fun time. I think guess and like I would love to see like them like the developers like in the works on that game sooner uh if they are going to be working on it, hopefully, but
Yeah.
uh so um did you have anything else to add on to that, or like did you want me to ask you another question?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything on that subject.
Okay. um so uh going into like CD, like because I always thought for the longest time that like Fat Cat was like probably one of the best players like on the platform. I know he's done a lot. He made the corridor map.
Yeah.
He's made he's done a lot of cool videos like killed all the bosses in like that tiny little map area or whatever. Um, like what are your thoughts on him or like Fat Cat's um resume on this game? Like
Well,
like do you think he's
uh,
like up there with all them or
uh, here's what I believe, right?
okay.
So from the people that actually have showed content to the others, I'm talking about YouTube videos, and also there were like a few charity streams, like a couple of 2-3 years ago, with one of the Z Slayers. Sorry for not remembering the name, but obviously they had a friend who had passed away. So they made a charity stream in his memory. So from the people that have showed skill in this, I believe he's probably number one. Right, I will rank him probably number one, just because of his insane aim. He's insane. Now, do I think he is the best in CD, like as a player? I would say no, and I'll explain to you why. There are so many uh, good players, like extremely good players and extremely good aimers. Most importantly, because on CD, the perks that matter are the precision perks.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe there are a lot of extremely talented aimers that are probably even better than Fat Cat. Now, the only problem that we have here is that they don't record, they don't show themselves in any way to the public. For example, one of the people that I know that is extremely good in CD. I can even see that you have him in your friends. This is Elmo,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now Elmo, he does stream every now and then, right? He does upload some videos on YouTube and etc. But I know that he mainly plays Commando. Now, in terms of playing Commando, I believe he's one of the best. But
Yeah, I
for
agree.
example, if I don't include your tournament in your streams because you play on console,
Mm-hmm.
I did watch some of the games that were played on Tamari's last tournament about CD specifically,
Okay.
and I do recognize some of the names. Some of the people that play there as gunslingers, also as sharpshooters, and these are people that have never streamed, nor have they recorded. And from what I've seen, they're like much better than Fat Cat, right? So this unknown factor is playing a huge role. That's what I believe. I'm not saying Fat Cat is bad. Quite the opposite. He is godlike. But are there better players than him? For sure, hands down, 100%.
Yeah, it is crazy too, because a lot of people that don't be like streaming all that much and just like be keeping to themselves, or to like dedicate so much more time than like people that just like stream this game on a regular basis. Like, even
Yeah,
I'm talking about just CD, just like in general, like PS4, Xbox, whatever. And yeah, and if
yeah.
you like take a look at like some of these good like CD players, like you said, like Hazardous Monkey, Police
Oh
Stomp.
yeah, yeah,
I could go off and name like Tam Tam, Zelmo,
yeah.
uh, Firepower.
Also, Indie Nick is one of them. Indie
Yes.
Nick is one of them.
I
Uh,
think that they, um, yeah, I think they have more credibility because, like, again, they stream and stuff, but like, they, I'm not gonna say any of them are overrated, but the ones who are underrated that just don't put themselves out there, I think there are like a lot of them out there that just like, uh, are just way better than some of these guys that just, like you said, just stream and like play this game. Like, one of my friends, like Runaway Puppy. This is just PS4 players I'm talking about. Runaway Puppy and uh,
yeah,
one more round. I know they're both like sharpshooter mains, and they are like insanely good. Um,
yeah.
and they just make me look like I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But you know, it's just, yeah, I would have to agree with you on that.
Well, it's kind of what you're saying is true in a way. I would say it's like 50% right and 50% wrong. I'll tell you why. Right. So here we're talking specifically about CD.
Hmm.
Now, in CD, obviously the aiming ability is like uh, probably the most important one. But in this franchise, overall in Killing Floor 2, uh, aiming is not the only thing,
Hmm.
right? I mean, this game might seem like very simple to some people, but in reality, on the highest level, Killing Floor 2 on the highest level, it's all about getting the right team composition, having good communication with your team, and also every individual knowing what is their personal best, what is their like strongest side. Because, for example, I'll give myself as an example because this is how I like to do it. I cannot speak about someone else just because this is not me. So, for example, I know I am not the best aimer out there,
Hmm.
right? But I know that I'm one of the best out there in terms of observing the situation and making calls and coordinating the team, right? So
That's true.
50% of my playtime and my play hours in KF2, uh, I've done them on medic, right? And
Hmm.
even on the servers that I sponsor at the moment, which are uh, with with custom bosses like bosses on wave 5, wave 7, and albino Zeds, right? That are much harder than CD, for example, and for more than 6 people. So the upscaling is, let's say, if you play 6 people, the server is for uh, maybe more than 20 people. For every person in the server, you get 2. So it's fake times 2, right?
Yeah.
So if we are like 12 people in the server, 10 waves, right? We get a shit ton of Zeds. First of all, sorry for my French. I do like to speak French,
That's
but
okay.
also
It's
on after
free talk
wave
here.
10, we get like 2 bosses, right? And also Zeds with special abilities, like abilities from versus mode. So I know that in that case, regardless of how good you are as an aimer, you simply cannot hold in one spot. It's impossible. You cannot hold in one spot. So you need to roam around. You need to run around. And in that situation, the perk that matters the most is the medic or the medics, if there are like 2 or 3 of them, because they're supposed to coordinate
Smoke
the
break
team, and the
444.
team
Thank
is
you for the
supposed to follow
follow.
them,
Thank you.
right? So I know that in this aspect, I'm extremely good. Probably one of the best out there. I can say that very easily. But in terms of aiming, I kind of suck. On the highest difficulties, I suck, just because I'm very anxious, right? So this game for me, it's about aiming, but it's also about playing as a team. It's also about survivability. It's also about economy. Uh, so you kind of look at it like as a complex subject, right? For example, a person that just wants to walk in, just wants to kill Zeds, he doesn't care what would happen. He just wants to go in and have some fun. But people, for example, like myself and a few other people that I'm seeing also in my Discord, like for example Jackson, like Smokey, like Hellfire, for example. Who else?
After this,
Like
I have a really
Chaos.
good hypothetical question to ask you when you're finished.
Uh, well, that's basically what I want to say, right?
Oh,
I
okay.
have teamed up with the people, with people. Every Saturday we almost do that. We gather up like same people, and everybody already knows what role they're good at. For example, I'm the medic. I'm the guy that supports. If I need to carry, I'm the guy who can like survive last and can carry it around. But I'm never like the main damage dealer or holding on the horde. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those, yeah, healers were important too. I mean, like, the crazy thing was that, like, I was, even though I was hosting my own tournament thing, and, like, there's this team that, like, I thought, like, was ready, and just, like, every time I
Yeah.
turned around, they were just saying, like, we need more people, we're down 3 people. And so, me, MLJ, who is also um like the moderator, or like helping me out with the tournament.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
we all came onto their team helping them, and there was just no communication whatsoever, and that's it. Pretty much was our downfall. So yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. But like, I had an important like hypothetical question. Like, so let's say if KF3 does come out, and they decide like KF3 was like going into esports, like who would you think would become pro players? Like who do you think would like make like or be like signed on to like esport teams for like if Killing Floor 2 was like an esports game and everybody was watching, like
So I would say, I can tell from now, these would be the people that have been playing KF2 for a very very long time, but also the people that have a lot of free time to practice together. And I'm saying this, judging again from my perspective. I never judge from anybody else's perspective. But for example, my job sometimes requires me to work very long hours. Okay, so if in my local time I start work at 10, sometimes I get home at 10 in the evening, and I am extremely tired during the working week, right?
Yeah.
So a person like me to sign up, professionally for a team, that the only way I see this happening for me personally, if there is an amazing incentive, because nobody would ever do anything unless there is some incentive,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if we take as examples, for example, let's say the CS:GO uh, stage.
Yeah.
So the pro players in CS:GO, uh, everybody can say whatever they want. Nobody plays for free. Nobody just plays for fun. Even the people that have gone semi-pro, started streaming on Twitch, became like somewhat of popular, right? They continue to do this for the views, for the subscriptions, for the money, right? Nobody would ever do that just for the fun, okay?
Mm.
But for you to do that, to go semi-pro and even pro, let's say KF3 becomes like major, like Dota 2 or CS:GO. Uh, First people that would try to get up there, those would be the hardcore players, people that have 5, 6, 7, even 8,000 hours of playtime. People that are hardcore, CD, people that have free time and also the motivation to do it, the reason to do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Those would be the people. Which people would that be? I would imagine that maybe people that own servers, uh, or sponsored events, or well-known people, probably.
Yeah.
First of all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Whether that would be me, I don't think so. I honestly don't think so.
Yeah. I was always thinking like yeah, like people that just played CD on the daily, just like like the players I said again, like Zelmo, Tam Tam,
Yeah,
Police Dom, and all them. I think they could like, if this game did have the potential to be like esports recognized, and like all these pro teams like were recruiting all these players, like that would be the other thing too. Like esports players would just like pick random people. They like the like teams like that you would usually be on. You would just be on. You would just be paired up with random people instead of like your own teammates. So like that would be kind of interesting too. Just be like paired up with another good player that you don't even know, and like I think that would be pretty interesting, but at the same time kind of
oh yeah,
hard.
for sure, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure,
but
for sure.
um, I had another question. So uh, let's say like I've been wanting to do this, and maybe I will, uh, probably next summer, or like whenever I don't have a lot of work time and just free time, like you said. Uh, I wanted to do like a PlayStation versus Xbox like a tournament thing, and like I could never like. I've seen some like people hosting tournaments on Xbox, but I could never like get a hold of them. Like I've been needing like so much help just to like host my own just on PS4, but I want to do one that's just like battle of the consoles.
Yeah,
You think that could happen, or just like have the potential to be like a thing?
Well, look, it is possible. It is possible, but then again, such a feat would require like a lot of preparation and a lot of help, because so much work for a single person or like for two people is impossible. Like it's almost impossible to do uh, in a nice, in an enjoying way for the viewers and for the audience, because both of us can agree that there is a large number of KF2 players that play on console, people that feel left out, people that want to be part of something, people that want to be connected, to the rest of the community, people that don't want to be left out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because updates and betas and the custom things we get as PC players, uh, it's simply not accessible to console. There's always a major delay on console, so there is like huge group of people that just want to be part of something. They want to connect, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that, for example, are on console, like yourself and like other people that I know and that I have chatted with, we've spoken with, people that follow me on my Twitch channel, people that come regularly just to watch me play, people that cannot play with me and my uh, let's say usual suspects because they're on console and we're on PC,
Mm-hmm.
uh, right?
Yeah.
Again, these people don't have access to custom content, but they are still here. They still support the game. They still play the game, right? They are still connected to the franchise. It still means a lot to them. So, in that regard, I don't know if I previously shared this with you, but I think that what you personally tried to do with the tournament, I believe this is yours, was your second tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I believe that if you keep on going and you don't give up, eventually more and more people would connect with you, not only offering to help, right? Simply with the with organizing things, or even like to simply calculate points and fill in brackets or whatever, right?
Yeah.
People will just start to come in when there is more of this, because I know the last tournament that, for example, Tamari did. He was able to get in contact with the Tripwire developers. One of the developers, I can't remember what was her name. I keep on forgetting, right? But one of the Tripwire developers was uh, with Tamari and two other people that were commentating, the games, and we're talking about the game overall and what is happening. And there was one guy responsible for the camera, and there was one guy streaming, right? So such a thing is also possible for console,
Mm-hmm. You just
not
like
like for PC.
again, yeah. You just reached out to like more people and just got more people involved and just made it bigger, more like professional. Yeah, like that's kind of
There
like
you go.
what I wanted to do, like but just on a console. But like yeah, I would just like try to have to like get in contact, like you said, with this all these people. I'm not saying I don't know if I
Yeah,
can get in contact with like someone from Tripwire, but like someone who's like a professional tournament like in gaming tournament like producer or like somewhere in that field, like would be awesome. Uh, because I've been saying this for the longest time that like I just kind of needed more help and more preparation just to do this stuff and like
yeah.
it's just like uh
It's a
at
learning
the
experience. Let's call it learning experience, right? I,
learning,
I believe
yeah.
it's fair enough. So there you go. every journey has a starting point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every journey also needs to have two things that are very important. Okay. So you need to know where you're starting from. This is one thing. And secondly, you need to know where you want to go, right? What is your why? For example, why do you want to make tournaments on KF2 on console? Why? Right? So when you get those two answers, where you're starting from and where you want to go, what you want to achieve, then you can make yourself a roadmap how you can get there. Okay. So if for example you reach out to KF2, the KF2 stuff, or even
Mm-hmm.
Saber Interactive stuff, and you say, "Listen, guys, I've made 2 tournaments. Okay, I'm trying to expand it. I want to popularize the game, right? I want to bring the community together, or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Two things can happen. Obviously, they can just skip and don't say anything, right?
Yeah.
Or they can reply to you. So worst thing that can happen is for
No
you just to be
response.
skipped. Yeah, no response. But best possible scenario is, Tripwire say, "Hey, you know what? So far we've looked only into the PC community, and now here we have a guy who doesn't want anything in return, but blah blah blah. Console players, and we know that there are a few thousand people that still play on console, etc., etc. So we have people that are kind of like left out. So let's see if what we can do there. Maybe we can, I don't know, give out a bundle for like $2-3, or maybe like give a shout out or help with the organization of the tournament, or let's just maybe put like $100-200 of prize money. Let's see what we can do there, because obviously, when the next game comes up, and I'm saying when, not if, because they don't have a choice, because Saber Interactive would never ever buy out Tripwire if there wasn't already something uh, like as an almost finished product,
Yeah.
right? I'm talking about Killing Floor 3. They would never do that as a business, because a business wants to be profitable.
Yeah. Well, that's just like any business in general. Like, no company's gonna buy a failing company. And, like, if they see they have potential, yeah, I agree. They're gonna buy into it.
So that's what I'm talking about. And I personally believe that it's only a matter of time, especially after the last move, Saber buying out Tripwire. Uh, they even have a post on their website. I'm talking about Tripwire, that they're looking, to hire people, devs, and etc. So a business that is dying, right, would never be bought by a bigger company. I can even give you an example of a deal that is almost about to happen right now. For example, Microsoft are trying right now to buy Activision,
Mm.
right? And this deal is at the moment almost finalized. It's just being there's I don't know what's happening within the EU, but it's almost finalized, right? So Microsoft are buying Activision. A couple of years ago, Microsoft bought Mojang, which is Minecraft, right? So a bigger company, which is already successful, would never invest money or buy something that is dying, that has uh, zero to no potential of making profit for the business, right? So I believe this year we're gonna see Killing Floor 3. Either we're gonna see a Killing Floor 3 as a completed game, or we're gonna get like an alpha and a teaser for 2024. This is what I personally believe.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's just like a whole monopolizing of just like companies buying companies and just like just like a money thing too, if you want to throw that conversation in there. Um, I honestly think that like overall, really, like I just think that if like they do like make this game, the make KF3 and a thing that everybody's been waiting for, and they just like brought esports attention to it, like I think it would just be a huge success, and like I think it would just like bring a lot more people's attention to the game and stuff like that, and like a lot more people other than myself would be making like mini tournaments on the game, and it's kind of what like you know that's kind of the whole reason why I do is just to bring more attention. Just like I asked Tam Tam pretty much the same thing, and it's just like they just wanted to spread awareness to control difficulty, which I think is pretty cool. Um, thank you, Jackson Beta, for the follow. Yeah,
Hey, Jackson.
I,
This uh, this is, by the way, huge shout out to Jackson. He is again a buddy of mine that we've been playing recently a lot. He also does stream KF2, and he shares, I would say, probably 99% of my views towards the game. This is why we like became friends, right? So huge shout out for him. Thank you for dropping by, Jackson.
uh, yeah, um, yeah, like I was saying, like for like, yeah, I definitely do want to keep making these types of things like tournaments happening. Um, I just feel uh, if like what you said before, if I got like enough help and enough people to collaborate with me, it would uh, bring more attention. Just like people would like be more involved, and I would have to make like bigger brackets and like all this other stuff. Um, I've also like thought it was like looking back at it now, I thought my tournament was like a little easy because I didn't have any like weapon limitations. Like people were just using the sentinel, the freeze thrower. They were using the hemoclobber, the heal thrower, and
Yeah.
like, and not that it wasn't fun to watch, it was, but like, I just want to make it more challenging, you know?
Well, you see, here comes the major difference between console and PC. Because, for example, on console, uh, it's extremely difficult to mod the difficulty. I honestly don't even know if it's possible for you to mod the difficulty, like to create a moderated server on CD on a custom difficulty with custom Zs. I honestly don't know. But what I do know is that all of these modifications are possible for PC. For example, these servers that I sponsor at the moment, um, their creator, his nickname is Hunter, who is a very well known uh, person in the KF2 community, not only in the workshop but also as a player, as a CD player, and etc. So he does own these servers that I sponsor. He is a very good buddy of mine, right? These servers are called Biohazard with the custom difficulty, which I believe is much harder than CD, than controlled difficulty, just because of all of the unexpected things that might happen, and the stronger Zeds that you meet. I'm talking about the Zeds with custom attacks, whether that will be the Husk or the Siren, right? Or the gore fiends, or the bosses mid-wave, right? And the bosses are super buffed. The bosses are super buffed. I can just give you one example. Okay, let's say me and you, we're playing on the Biohazard servers with the modded difficulty, and after wave 10, we get Hans as a boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on regular server, or even on CD, Hans in his first stage, he doesn't run fast. He throws smoke grenades very rarely. He shoots with his machine guns, right? So he's like kind of a slow target, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the modded servers, Hans runs extremely fast towards you. He is very aggressive. He's not slow. He is always running towards you, and from his first phase, even before his first shield, he is starting to throw like every 10-15 seconds his
Bombs.
explosive grenades,
Yeah.
which is his deadliest weapon that you usually fight around his last phase, on his last shield,
Yeah.
right? But on this server, if you get Hans on a closed off map where you have nowhere to run, he can literally wipe out 10 people, even more, within 10-15 seconds. On
You
this server,
serious? Wow.
yes, on this server, the Patriarch is one of like the scariest bosses, because guess what? The Patriarch not only runs at you, he uses his mortar attack and he uses his rockets extremely often. From the first get-go, even before the first heal, right? He runs next to you, he starts doing the rockets, the mortar, the machine gun. He's not interested in just getting close to you and just meleeing you. So berserkers have zero chance of doing anything against the Patriarch. The Patriarch is one of the hardest bosses, probably even harder than Hans.
So, like,
Because
basically, what you're saying, does like the AI intelligence like bumped up for him?
not only, but the bosses have access to all of their entire arsenal from second one, since they spawn. There is no these phases. They don't matter,
Oh.
right?
So
They
it
don't
just
matter.
happens right like as you
Yes,
start playing them?
immediately.
Okay,
Immediately, yes.
gotcha. All right.
So in such situations, uh, it's very easy to die. For example, me and my crew of veteran KF2 players, like for example, here in your Twitch chat, we're seeing Jackson is one of them. Hellfire is also another one, right?
Yeah.
And all of these people have like more than 2.5, 3,000 hours, probably even more, 4,000 hours. Okay, but on these modded difficulties, something which is I honestly don't know if it's available for console, but probably not, because there is no workshop. I honestly don't know. On a difficult server like this, you cannot have any limits. So all weapons are available, all perks are available, and it's like complete and utter chaos. And it's extremely difficult. We very rarely get to beat a map or a boss, regardless of who the boss is. Believe it or not, the easiest boss on the modded difficulty with us on Biohazard servers is the Matriarch. She is the easiest boss. Because once you get rid of the cannon on her arm, she is easy to kite. But the others, Hans and Patriarch, oh boy. Even King Fleshpound that you're getting on wave 7, at the end of the way, King Fleshpound is extremely difficult. He never stops running. Right? So, I don't know. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, that would be kind of like more fast paced, I guess. Like if he's like not giving you a break because like I've been like I was on like one of the modded uh servers or like I don't know, I was on the South Park map where like it was I was on a South Park map and right off wave one it was just a bunch of flesh pounds and just like I had to be the medic and just start throwing nades and start having that adrenaline shot while like doing that poison damage or whatever and I couldn't even make it
Yeah,
out wave three or four because like there's like 20 or 30 flesh pounds just completely running at me. I don't know what the hell to do. Just keep poisoning him and running.
yeah.
But uh, yeah, I think it's kind of interesting too, because like I guess the closest thing you can get to CD on console is like Endless Wave 100 or whatever. Hell on Earth, because like I guess that's kind of like the closest thing, because that's why like so many people like better than me like Runaway Pippi and one more round. Gardner 44 like play that mode so much just because they want the challenge. And even when Andresco was playing with me at the time, was doing that. I think the highest we got was like 124, 125.
So what I have personally noticed about endless mode is that even if you start on a, for example, let's say a hard server, hard difficulty, after wave 25, wave 30, the difficulty already starts to ramp up even above Hell on Earth. Especially with the bosses, if you get King Flesh Pound or Hans, they get like so much HP on their shield phase. It's just like uh, starts to get not only annoying, but at one point it starts to get like impossible because you need to run around for ammo boxes and you need to keep on shooting. And it's just like a huge waiting game, which is what I believe it's not scaled properly. If you're gonna get scaled to a level of difficulty where, for example, you will need 100 rockets from the RPG to kill the shield or to bring the shield down from the King Flesh Pound on endless mode. Well, obviously you need to get increased spawn rate in ammo boxes,
Mm-hmm.
or you should get like the ability to drop a lot of spare weapons which don't despawn after 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, just like constantly, running around and maybe a berserker and a medic, and the berserker is tanking him and hitting him every now and then, and it's not a pleasant thing. It's not a pleasant thing.
Yeah. Um, okay, so here's another question. Um, so if you go like back to like Killing Floor 1, um, they brought the Z Mark weapon back for the demo. Are there
Yeah.
any like other guns that you feel like they need to bring back?
Um. Yes, I think there is one pistol, the MK. What was it called? There was one pistol for the sharpshooter. MK pistol for sharpshooter. KF1. I'll tell you right now. Which one is it? There was a there was a uh, there was a pistol that was very similar to the 1911 of it was called MK something. MK something, right? And this was one of my favorite weapons for the sharpshooter. I was literally skipping all the weapons and I was getting only this pistol,
Mm,
right? So it's a magazine fed like the 1911, but it had like 14 bullets and had a iron sight with green on it.
Oh,
MK14.
I guess it wouldn't matter if you're using like some type of spot HUD or some uh iron sight that you download from your PC and just put it in the game.
Yeah, but this one was like Ironside. It looks like extremely similar, uh, like uh, like the 1911. It's something between the 1911 and the Deagle. It was called MK14, I believe. I don't know. But in
Okay.
KF1, the Deagle was also, a weapon for the sharpshooter,
Mm,
right? And for example, on these servers that I'm playing, that I sponsor, the Biohazard with the modded difficulty with the bosses and etc.
yeah.
The Deagle has been made as a cross-perk weapon for the sharpshooter, a single Deagle, and also the 1911, and also the AF 2011, right? So
Yeah.
the Deagle is OP on the sharpshooter. I can tell from the Deagle is OP on the sharpshooter. So it kind of makes sense that it's not available, in the vanilla game. But another weapon that would be really good in this game, that would be one of the shotguns for the support. I don't remember what's it called, but it's a pump shotgun. So it's the HZ. It's the AZ shotgun, but it fires only one shot at a time, and again, it's magazine fed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jeez. I
It
kind of
had a
like
lot
that.
of ammo.
I kind of like that pistol that they reskinned for the medic. It's a reskin of the medic one. That's like it shoots lasers and it it
The reductor ray.
what?
The reductor ray.
No, not that one. It's
Oh yeah, what was it called? Yes, 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 yes. I got you.
like the
Uh,
alt fire was like EMP.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you.
I kind of like
What was
that
it called?
pistol.
So you see, it's a new concept, which is fair enough. But how many more weapons do they have to reskin and put as an HRG? Oh, they almost did all of them, right? They almost
Yeah.
did all of them, or like majority of them.
By the
So,
way, how many more like if the new game does come out, or do you think they'll start making more HRG weapons?
no, I don't think there will be HRG weapons. I'll tell you why. When the new game comes out, I believe that there will be no HRG weapons, but there will be a lot of attachments, different different scopes, different muzzles that you can put, as a silencer, or you understand what I'm saying,
That
or
would be
like different
cool.
types of magazines. That's what I think they will do, right?
Yeah.
There is one game that at the moment, well, not at the moment, I haven't played for some time, but there's one game that I've played a lot. It's called Aliens Fireteam Elite, which is a third-person, co-op shooter based on the Alien franchise. So they have all weapons. Almost all weapons are available for all classes, right? So the weapons don't vary. But what is different is every weapon has 3 different attachments, like a muzzle, magazine, and a scope, right? And all of these three different attachments give you uh, different bonuses, not to your perk, but to your weapon. Like, for example, faster shooting, but slower weapon switch speed, or faster recoil but less ammunition, right? Things like this. So I think that the new KF game, whenever it may come out, I believe it will have weapons probably available, class specific weapons like they're right now, but you'll be unlocking most likely, uh, different attachments that can, enhance your weapon.
That
That's
would
what I
be
think.
a lot cooler. Just like make it more Call of Duty based and just like
Similar.
like more. The more you play the game, the more like stuff you can get. Like what you said, a new attachment, like a new scope, new magazine capacity. Like make it more Call of Duty like, and I think that would be a lot better too. Instead of just having the same weapons that you can buy just with the same stuff on it, like
Well,
the
that's what I think. That's what I think that will happen because Tripwire, the main people from Tripwire, or at least the people that have went public and spoken in front of fans and audience, they've kept repeating one and the same thing. The reason why we cannot change the upgrade system is because the game is running on an older engine of Unreal Engine, right?
yeah.
But on a newer engine, these attachments and upgrades, like in Modern Warfare and other games, can be done. So, um, not I believe nothing is said just randomly and without a reason. And the reason they've been, keeping quiet and giving us surveys about the game, and less updates, because now we get only 3 per year instead of 4, and we already know that we're going to get like 2 HRG weapons and probably 2 DLC weapons. Well, if you think about it, how many weapons don't have HRG? How many?
Like only a
Not that
few, I'm
many.
guessing. Yeah.
Not that many that actually make sense. Because if you think about it, uh, you cannot make the scar for the command. You cannot make it HRG. What are you gonna make it as an HRG? How? Or the FM file, for example, or the Deagle, right? It doesn't make sense. Or which one? Or for example, the battle axe, or the Winchester, or the centerfire, right? Most of the core weapons that are already there, they cannot make them as an HRG, or the M99, or I guess the M32 for the grenade launcher for the demo. I guess they can make it as an HRG, probably even for the medic, like shooting medic nades, or maybe for the firebug, shooting firebug nades, right? But they can only do so many, right? So at one point, they would have exhausted their arsenal,
Yeah.
right? So they would need something new. So the fact that they have brought us only community maps, nothing like original that they have made themselves, or like no new, let's say, I don't know, exclusive weapons, something that we haven't seen, or something that we would say, wow. Because in reality, what was the last DLC weapon that we said to ourselves, wow, this is a weapon which is godlike?
I
What was
think
the last one?
uh I think most people were excited about like the either like the Hemoclub or the Heel Throw when those two things came out. Because there's a lot of I know it's kind of overrated that weapon, but there's a lot situations you can get yourself out of with that weapon.
Yeah, but then again, it's kind of something which is something that we've already seen, right? The medic level 25 skill plus a healing grenade, right? So it's kind of like the what was it called? The hammer with the explosives. What was it called? For the berserker. What was it called? Let me check my inventory. Berserker. Not the bone crusher. The pulverizer. So the hemoglobin is literally a pulverizer with healing effect. So what I'm saying is that they're getting very, very close to not having any options to make an HRG because it wouldn't make any sense, right? So if they're not going to be making HRGs, they would have to make only DLC weapons, or they will start making again new weapons that are free, or they would have to start bringing weapons from Killing Floor 1, into Killing Floor 2 for free. And there are weapons that are missing in Killing Floor 1 that are present, but they're missing here in this game, right? So they're limited on the things that they can do.
Yeah.
Right. They haven't had any new contests for maps. I believe from the last contest, all of the maps and all the creators that were chosen, I believe everything is already in the game, right? So you can only add, only a few more probably maps that were created that are in the workshop that seem viable and doable for an update, like themed update, right? So they're kind of like almost reaching a dead end. So that's why I believe that in this year we should see KF3 at least as a teaser, as a trailer, or at least as an alpha.
Yeah.
That's why I believe that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Most of the weapons that they do put out now are just like reskins and just like a rinse and repeat to weapons with the map with the new map. You know. Yeah. Um. Just gets kind of boring after a while. But yeah, I get what you're saying. So here's another question. Um. Would you like if you had to like set up your own like tournament, like how would you go about doing it?
So first thing that I'll do is even before me announcing the tournament, I'm gonna make myself a plan, right, of what needs to happen, right? So let's say first thing I'm gonna write down is for this tournament to happen, I will need uh, 15 teams or 20 teams, each out of 5 people. This is the first, right? So first I need to find the people. Second is now, okay, let me see according to the time difference with my working schedule. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do all 15 teams, all the brackets, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to need some people to help me, right? But not only not just some people, but I will need people to help me if needed, at least to if not to commentate the matches, at least to record the match, right? Because raw footage of a KF2 game, if you get it afterwards, if you want to commentate on it and upload it to YouTube, you can still do it, right? Even after the match has passed, right? So you need to find the people that can possibly help you to do this.
That
Well, how
was
you
one
to
of
do
the
that?
things I was just gonna say too, because like I'm tired of seeing it from just like the one player's perspective. If like that player has like running it on PS4 with like 540p, and there's just like quality lag dips, and it's just like all pixely. It's just like I want it to be more professional looking, just like
So
more
you see,
quality.
for this,
Yeah.
um, can you join? Can you join a server on console as a spectator? Is it possible?
No. There's no spectator mode for PS or console, I don't think.
Okay. So in that case, how can you spectate? Someone else from the other team would need to share,
Yeah, exactly. They go live and I record their watching their
right?
gameplay. Yeah.
So immediately I can give you a tip that might potentially help you. Okay. So instead of making the tournament for players of 6 people, teams of 6 people, make them for 5 people, because okay, the sixth one can, for example, die at the start of each wave. Okay, and then he can start recording as a spectator, because once you die, you can cycle through the players, right?
Mhm.
That will give you uh, more points of view from different angles, rather than not being able to do anything, right? That would be maybe one way to go about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that
five
would be
people
good.
instead of 6,
Yeah.
or if these are 6 people, but 6 people to simultaneously record while they're playing. Not everybody has the power capacity to record while playing.
It would be more likely that the game would crash because
Maybe.
yeah, they're both recording
So,
and playing
so
online.
if this was on PC, right? You can rent your own server. You can be admin. You can join as a spectator. Okay. The other people can join up. You can put a password. You can even if you enable cheats, stop this, pause the trader, do this, do that, right? You can cycle through. You can spectate as a ghost. You can do a lot of things. But on PC, on console is, I don't know. Um, right. So I think that first uh, you need to find maybe the people, but probably adjust the format, because if you want the view from if you want the match from different views, and then you can comment on it, or have someone else comment on it while watching it and recording it,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then uploading it. You need 5 people per team.
That would be like an interesting concept, but at the same time, yeah, every time like before, like I would just have like a whole big meeting of just like discussing all of the like rules and
Hmm,
stuff.
there you go. There you go.
And
We were talking like 10 minutes ago. We were talking about how can you make the game more challenging and more difficult on console. There you go. You start up a Hell on Earth game. Bingo, bam. One of the people dies, right? So you get the difficulty of 6 people, but only 5 people play. This ramps up the difficulty,
oh yeah,
and
that's true.
then you would need even more coordination between the people, right?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, um I don't know how a lot of people would feel about that, but yeah. like anytime I like just throw something out there, it's just like any type of rule. There's always like a bunch of controversial stuff. Like people are arguing, and they're just like always pointing the finger at me and stuff, and it's just like it takes a lot of pressure off me. It's pressure on me, and like
Well, listen. The people that would want to participate and would want, some rewards, or they want to gain fame, right, or whatever,
yeah,
or they would like, a little bit of a challenge, right?
hmm
These people, they will still go for it, because in reality, on console, if you're like literally playing on console, how can you make the game more difficult? You cannot move to CD. You cannot host a server, right? You cannot rent a server on console. No, we have 6 players Hell on Earth, and that's it. Okay. So what happens if you play 5 people Hell on Earth instead of 6? The difficulty ramps up, right? So then you would need less people to participate, because the teams would be out of 5, not out of 6,
yeah,
right?
hmm
And the difficulty would be ramped up. They will still play on. They will still play on console, and you can still create a private lobby with a password. You don't need to like spend money on renting a server or whatever, right? So the 6th player that joins up, uh, his task, he's not gonna be dropping any dosh or any weapons, right? They're not gonna be picking up his weapons, right? He's gonna be literally standing still, or just running into the Zeds and just dying immediately, right?
yeah,
So 5 people can play, and then these 5 people, they need to think about what perks they want to be in reality, and it will be more difficult for them. So I think maybe that's an avenue that you would like to explore.
yeah. I'll definitely like entertain that thought. Um, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt just to throw it out there. I usually do them like in the summer because that's when I have more free time. Uh,
Yeah,
I so um, it's about like almost 9 o'clock, and we already an hour in. Just usually when I wrap this up. Uh, but like um, there was actually one PC team that was in my tournament. I think Wire A. He's like a Spanish guy, Mexican. Um, yeah, he had his team, and like fun fact, it was like the first time that like a PC team lost to like a console team, and this was during like the semis, and uh,
yeah,
everybody thought they were gonna win, and everybody was thinking that like it was like my thing was rigged just because I let like a PC team in, and like I was like, no, he just wanted to play, and I just asked him like, you're not pro players, right? Like you're not CD players, are you? And they're like, no, we only play Hell on Earth. I was like, okay, cool, and uh, they just came in like they were like really good. It's just like the disconnects was what got the best of them because at
yeah.
the time, like the disconnects were counted as like a point loss. That's what everybody like agreed to. So that's it. Like I didn't have any control over it, so I just took a point off every time it was just like a DC happened.
So listen, in that scenario, okay, the people that joined you, the people that you suggested, and said, hey, you know what, guys, come and join. these people, they already joined knowing, what would be the potential risks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's no backing up and saying, hey, we lost because of this, because of that. No, you joined up knowing that things might happen, right? So there are no excuses. There shouldn't be any excuses, especially complaints and blaming you and the other people that are trying to organize. Such things do not exist or shouldn't exist.
Yeah. I I literally just like I felt bad doing it. It's just like had to put my foot down with some people. It's just like it was during the end, like the grand finals when uh Team Can of Bliss and Team Wolf were facing off, and one of the members from Team Wolf said, we just have to forfeit because like we keep lagging out, like people keep DCing from every time we hop into a game, a pub match or whatever. And I was just like, okay, like I'll try to. So I just made a group chat with both of the teams, and I wanted them to work out something, and they wouldn't agree to anything. So like, I really would have loved to see uh, those two teams face off in the grand finals, but like Team Cannibalists just won by default because Team Wolf like just could not physically play.
So in that case, okay, again, so this is part of the preparation and organizing the tournament, right? So these rules of what will happen and when points will be deducted based on what might happen, like people DCing and etc. etc. Right? Because again, you don't have your own server on console. You cannot pause the game. Now, me on PC, the servers that I sponsor, I can pause the game. I have admin access to it. I can pause the game. I can pause the match. I can skip the wave. I can kill everybody. Right? I can do whatever I want. I'm God.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is something that is not available for console. So that means that that you need before a team signs up to participate for the tournament, you need like very simple and straightforward rules. Okay, listen, guys. Because of the tendency for this and this happening, okay, if you get a DC, maybe we can give you, I don't know if it happens once, okay, maybe we can walk it off, or if you get like 3 DCs, 3 strikes and you're out, and then you would not have this safety umbrella, so points will be taking off, and etc. Right? So these things need to be clear before you start the tournament. Right? So that's what I'm saying. For you, this has been a learning experience, and if I personally have the time physically, I would love if I can help you out to organize this, to manage it, to record, even to commentate on it, because like 7-8 years ago, I even used to be, a Dota 2 professional commentator. I'm not joking. I used
Oh
to do
yeah.
that before I changed jobs. Yep.
Like
So,
actual like esports or just like
but
no.
here in my country, yes,
Oh. Okay.
esports, but in my country, right? We will be. I was working for a company that was basically a company that was providing, the PCs, the peripherals, the hardware, the software. We were setting up the PCs, the stage, and etc. And then the teams would come over, they would play, and I used to commentate. right, in my native language. But
Mm,
I believe, based on my Twitch TV experience, I believe I can even commentate in English. It's not going to be a problem whatsoever, right?
yeah.
So if I physically have the time and we want to organize a tournament like this, um, it can be done, right? So far, everything that you personally have done and the other people that helped you, just think about it as a learning experience, as a learning curve. Take the best out of it. Take the things that worked, the things that didn't work, right? Make yourself like a list of, you know, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work, right? So pull out the obstacles, and then just try to solve them, or write down for yourself what do you need in order for you to solve them, right? But the people that sign up for the tournament need to know in advance. Okay, listen, we have you know 3 strikes and we're out. So if one guy disconnects 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, on the 4th time we're getting deduction from points, and there is no other way around it, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th time, 5th time, 6th time, bam, 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 bam. This is what I would do. This is what I would do. First, set up the rules based on the previous experience, find the people that would help me, right? And when I have this, then I will try to find the teams. Based on the teams, then I'll try to organize the schedule. And for sure, I will try to reach out to Tripwire. Because what would be their problem to give, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 free copies of the game, or like a few bundles that cost $5? What would be their issue? Because you're doing them a favor. What would be their issue? No issue. This is what I would do. This is how I would approach it.
Yeah. Um, I just because I know a lot of European players and and it's not even this game, like Rocket League, Overwatch League, Dota 2, League of Legends, just like overseas players are just like really good at what they do. And yeah, it's just, I would just I guess it's just more of the expanding part of it, just like how many people are just willing to help or willing to play or just willing to just be involved in general. But it's just one of the things of just like spreading awareness of you going back to. Um, but uh, yeah, I guess that just about like wraps it up. Unless if you wanted to have any final like concluding statements or whatever that you wanted to share.
Yeah. What I would like to say is, for the community out there, whether you guys are on console, whether you guys are on PC, it doesn't really matter, because the game is more or less one and the same. We're all one big happy family that want to play not versus one another, but we want to play versus the AI.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no competitive, or there's like very small competitive factor here, because it's a team game. People versus the AI. All of us want to have fun. All of us want to stay connected. All of us want to have friends that they can play this game, together. Because playing this game solo, it sucks, and this is not a secret, right? All of
Mm-hmm.
us can sit tight and hope for Killing Floor 3, where all of us potentially might have cross-platform play, so that we can all play together. We can all get access to custom maps, custom mods, custom difficulties. All of us. So basically, all of us need to be more open-minded, because people like yourself, Chai Guy. I hope I'm pronouncing your nickname correctly. I hope I'm not butchering it.
No,
It's Chai
no.
Guy or it's Chi
It,
Guy?
people say it like that all the time. It's actually Kai Guy, but I don't care like
Kai
the
Guy?
pronounce. Yeah,
Kai Guy?
because my real
Okay.
name is Malachi, and people that was my nickname at birth was Kai Guy.
Okay. So people like Kai Guy here that are trying to do something on their own, sponsor a tournament on their own, make merchandise and organize things so that people can really come together for the love of the game without expecting any money gain from it, any profit, right? So we need to be
Yeah.
more open-minded and more willing to lend a hand to people that need it, people that want to help the community, people that want to bring uh, players together, to educate them, people that don't want this legacy to be lost, because Killing Floor 2 is a legacy. And we're all in this together. And that is a fact. And whoever says something different than this, it's either he or she is either denying this or doesn't care and doesn't love the game as much as we do. Because this game, I love it with all my heart.
Yeah.
Me personally, I love my community. I love to interact with people. I love to help people, new people, more experienced people than myself. I'm always open to learn new things. I like to experiment. I like to laugh in this game because it is pure enjoyment when you're playing this game. Why? Because you're not playing PvP. It's not like CS:GO or Dota where you can potentially get one very toxic guy or very toxic experience, right?
Mhm.
So here it's people versus the AI, people versus the computer. And you can do whatever you want. So for all of you guys that are currently listening to this, or even after this is being uploaded, I just hope that everybody is a little bit more open-minded and more willing to help, and a little bit friendlier to people like myself, like Kai Guy, that love the game and want to bring the community back together. People that don't want to lose the legacy, because this game is the legacy. Whether we will get a third game, nobody knows. Everything is pure speculation. Everything I said in this podcast is pure speculation. I do not know. Nobody knows. What happens if we don't get a third game? Well, we need to preserve what we have at the moment. Oh, these would be my closing words.
Okay. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that too. It's very well said. I do appreciate you coming on and just sharing your thoughts on Killing Floor, on some of the tournaments, and just some CD players that do like put a lot of time in the game. Um, uh, I do thank you for coming on, sharing your thoughts. I always love doing these podcasts, doing them with CD players and even regular
Oh, look
players
at
like
this!
myself.
Look at this guy! Look at this! Kitanov, uh, the parsnip, hazardous monkey, free snipers. Look at all the people that just came here to show some love, not only for yourself, but mainly for the game, right? Because this
Yeah,
game connects people across continents. You know, here we don't have here we don't have belief system. We don't have things that I don't want to talk about. As Kitanov saying, all noobs. you know, good joker, but in reality, this game connects a lot of people,
Yeah,
different
that's true.
countries, different time zones, different capabilities. Uh, Overall, I believe I haven't met so far. I haven't met a person that is extremely toxic, a person that I wouldn't, want to play with, a person that I wouldn't interact with. I haven't met such people. The people that I have met in KF2, all of them are nice people, amazing people.
Yeah,
Uh,
we try to be
Look at
nice
it.
here. Yeah, nice
Not
and
only look at this.
respectful.
Ah. Not only look at this. The chat is going crazy. Chat is going crazy.
Yeah, dude, thank you
Look at
guys
this.
for hopping on and showing your support. I do thank Lames for talking with me about the game. And I hope someday, uh, in the near future, I can like produce like a fun like gaming event for this game, tournament wise. That will uh be enjoyable for everyone. Um, I do want to talk to some people that host tournaments for the Xbox community. And I'll probably do want to make that the console tournament wars happen. PS4 versus Xbox. I think that would be interesting and kind of fun. So
Yeah.
I will try my hardest to make that in the works, but I do thank you for coming on here and sharing your thoughts. It's always a pleasure having you. You're always a nice and
Al-
chill guy to talk to, Lames.
Always a pleasure to be here, my guy. Always a pleasure to be here.
Okay.
Thank
Um.
you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, guys. This was the KF2 podcast with Lames for the second time. Be sure to hope you guys are having a great night. Hope you guys stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.